Your doctrine or orthodoxy better include and emphasize understanding and forgiveness. That's a consequence of life being difficult. Therefore, you have to include understanding and forgiveness. And so the part I talk about in the post is that a big understanding here is that you do have a doctrine, you do have an orthodoxy, you have a mindset, you have a way that you conceive things. Almost certainly, there's a bunch of internal inconsistencies there, but that's just how we are. We have a total normal. Normal in the sense of continuous. Like we just have our normal setting of how we look at things, how we approach the world, how we evaluate things. This is an orthodoxy. This is a doctrine. This is a general way that you approach things. So you have that. That's a given. And I'm saying it should include understanding and forgiveness because of the difficulty in life. And I would say this expands to what we were talking about too. Like you were just saying, okay, if you have someone in your life who, you know, you're going through your journey, you're doing the best you can, kind of like I think most people are, and trying to put things together, and you're seeing things from this point of view, and then you've got that person who's just like, no, you idiot, like no, like how could you think that? What a ridiculous thing to think. You're doing by consequence of what you're doing, here's 10 reasons why you're a terrible person. And it's like, I mean, like maybe and or probably, but like I'm trying. I also see another side, and I'm trying
Mm.
like So that's where I come from with the hopefully planting and engendering much more understanding and much more uh, forgiveness in our approaches to other people. And I think understanding that life is difficult, including understanding each other's perspectives and relating across boundaries, it's difficult. And so therefore, having compassion with that, the appropriate response would be, okay, I'm going to try to first understand as best I can, understand where you're coming from and understand the best way to get you to change. Like if I'm like, hey, you're really messing up that thing, but if I just sort of kick you and call you an idiot, like it might satisfy my superiority in that moment, but it's not actually going to likely produce significant change in like your future and how you're approaching things and getting you to a place where I would be more happy that you were, even if it's to satisfy only my desires, or if I think it's good for you. If I say I want you to change because it's good for you, but if I approach that with like force and anger and uh, like bringing you down, that's not as effective determining of getting you to the place that I think is better for you, as is understanding where you're coming from and then how to speak to that and how to nudge you in another direction in a way that doesn't feel uh, that provokes less resistance at the very least.